British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good morning, I'm Sophie Hansen with your news updates to 11 o'clock. Starting out with some breaking news, police have responded to what they say is an active shooting at an apartment building in the Denver suburb of Broomfield. Police released little information other than that officers responded earlier this morning to a shooting at the Artista Flats apartment and that the area is not safe. Some people have been evacuated and police sent out a reverse emergency notification to the area's residents to shelter in place. More information will be available later today. Organizations representing physicians in BC say doctors should get paid sick days, vacation days, coverage, extended health care and dental benefits, as well as a pension plan. The BC College of Family Physicians and BC Family Doctors are also asking whoever forms the next government to streamline paperwork, including legislation to eliminate some employers' sick note requests and funding for supports like nurses in family medicine clinics. The group says more than 7,000 BC residents are not able to access a family doctor, and they say the issues may be compounded by the fact that close to 40% of current family doctors are set to retire or reduce clinical hours within 5 years. Business groups are urging the federal government to step in and prevent a potential strike by Air Canada pilots. The union representing Air Canada pilots says a 72-hour strike or lockout notice could be issued as early as Sunday, which could lead to a full stoppage as soon as Wednesday. Canadian Chamber of Commerce President Candice Lang says action is needed from the government to protect the economy and Canada's reputation on the world stage.
While deals should be reached at the table, when it looks unlikely, we need to face the cost of inaction, and in this case, that cost is simply too high. We need the federal government to use other tools it has available and help support steps towards a resolution.
The government has so far said it's up to the airline and the union to make a deal. An evacuation order has been lifted for South End, Saskatchewan, allowing nearly 1,000 people to return home. The Peter Ballantine Cree Nation says a large wildfire that forced the evacuation is no longer a threat to the community 600 kilometers northeast of Saskatoon. The First Nation says all essential infrastructure is operational, including power, water, and the grocery store. It also says that health centers are prepared to support returning evacuees. It's a year and a half for house arrest for the former chief administrative officer of a rural city in Manitoba who stole $30,000 from a curling club and tried to pay it back with taxpayer money. Trisha Dawn Fraser pled guilty to theft over $5,000 and was sentenced late last month. RCMP say she stole cash when she was volunteering as a treasurer for the Carberry Curling Club. After she left and while she was working for the municipality of Cypress Langford, Fraser used municipal funds to reimburse the curling club. Former movie mogul Harvey Weinstein has been indicted on additional sex crime charges in New York ahead of a retrial in his landmark #MeToo case. ABC's Aaron Katarski has more on the indictment.
When the judge asked for an update on the case, prosecutors revealed that they had secured a new indictment. And while we don't know the exact charges, we know that prosecutors had presented evidence of 3 alleged sexual assaults by 3 different women, varying time periods over the last couple of decades, and those look like they could form the basis of these new charges.
The indictment will remain under seal until Weinstein is arraigned on the new charges, which could happen as early as September 18th. Now, for some local weather here in Burnaby, it's mainly cloudy with some sunny breaks later on, with a high of 19 and a low of 12. These have been your news updates to 11 o'clock. I'm Sophie Hansen with BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.